It's February 11th, 2026, and today I'm covering 4 stories that show where the AI industry is going, large-scale deployment inside the U.S. Department of Defense, the first public dispute under California's SB 53 AI safety law, OpenAI's retirement of GPT-4o in ChatGPT, and new U.S. export guidelines on Nvidia's H200 chips. So OpenAI announced that it's bringing ChatGPT to GenAI.mil. That's an enterprise platform used by the U.S. Department of Defense. OpenAI says the department will use a custom ChatGPT approved for unclassified work only and deployed in government cloud infrastructure with safety controls built in. OpenAI states that data processed on GenAI.mil stays inside the government environment and is not used to train or improve OpenAI's public or commercial models. So Defense News reported that GenAI.mil launched on December 9, 2025, starting with Google Cloud's Gemini for Government, and access is controlled by a common access card, the Defense Department's identity card. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said that the platform can support deep research and document work, and Undersecretary of Defense for Research and Engineering Emil Michael said the United States cannot accept second place in AI. At the same time, CNBC reported that the Department of Defense awarded OpenAI a 1-year contract with a $200 million ceiling on June 16, 2025. They also reported that on July 14, 2025, that Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, and xAI received up to $200 million each contract ceilings through the Pentagon's Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Departments. Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office, its central AI office. For the past month, we've been talking about the transition from chatbots over to infrastructure and governance regulation, and hopefully those regulations hold firm and actually are proprietary United States military secrets remain secret and don't get used for training data. Next story is a legal dispute that could become an early test of California's Senate Bill 53, the Transparency and Frontier Artificial Intelligence Act. Governor Gavin Newsom signed SB 53 on September 29, 2025, and Fortune reported it took effect in January 2026. SB 53 targets frontier AI developers and requires them to publish a safety framework, follow it, and avoid misleading claims about compliance. Vox and the Associated Press have reported the law allows civil penalties up to $1 million per violation. So back on February 5th, OpenAI released ChatGPT 5.3 Codex and published a GPT 5.3 Codex system card. A system card is a technical disclosure describing evaluations and mitigations. OpenAI reported results including 56.8% on SWE Bench Pro and 77.6% on cybersecurity capture the flag challenges, and it also said that it was the first launch treated as high capability in the cybersecurity domain under OpenAI's Preparedness framework, its internal risk policy. So today, Fortune reported that the watchdog group Midas Project, led by founder Tyler Johnson, alleged that OpenAI violated SB 53 by releasing the model without safeguards that its own framework would require. OpenAI, of course, disputed that. An OpenAI spokesperson told Fortune the company is confident in our compliance with frontier safety laws, including SB 53. And I think as time goes on, we will see more and more regulators butting heads with these frontier companies. And I think in an ideal society that creates a safer and more effective platform for using AI while also not impeding on progress and markets and innovation. So here's our third story. OpenAI is retiring a major model inside ChatGPT. All right, ChatGPT-4o will finally be removed February 13th as the service will start defaulting to ChatGPT 5.2. OpenAI said that the shift reflects model improvements and usage, with only 0.1% of users still choosing GPT-4o each day. They also added that they didn't make this decision lightly. For ChatGPT Business, Enterprise, and EDU, OpenAI's Help Center says GPT-4o remains available inside custom GPTs until April 3rd, 2026, after which GPT-4o is retired across all plans. OpenAI also said in the API there are no changes at this time. So the immediate impact is mainly on the ChatGPT interface rather than on developers. The timing intersects with safety and trust questions. The Verge reported on April 30th, 2025 that OpenAI rolled back a GPT-4o update after it produced overly agreeable, sycophantic responses. Then on January 30th, the Tech Justice Law Project Executive Director Mitali Jain argued the retirement is linked to a liability risk, which OpenAI has not confirmed. Then just recently, CNBC has reported that OpenAI reached $10 billion in annualized revenue and closed $40 billion funding round at $300 billion valuation, so changes in ChatGPT's default behavior now have an unusually large social and business consequence. I suppose the main argument being made here is that they didn't just get rid of it because not so many people are using it, but also because it poses a security risk. And our last story, export controls are shaping the AI hardware market. An export license is government permission to ship controlled technology abroad. On February 10th, 2026, Reuters reported U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said Nvidia... Lutnick. This guy. Nvidia needs to accept new licensing terms for selling Nvidia H200 AI chips to China, and that the terms were worked out with the U.S. State Department. Now, previously, Reuters reported that the Trump administration had provided an export authorization for H200 chips to China, but only with guardrails, and those guardrails included third-party testing of chip capability before shipment, a cap that China cannot receive more than 50% of the amount sold to American customers, and a requirement that Nvidia certify there are enough H200 chips in the United States at any given time. Reuters also said that Chinese buyers must show sufficient security security procedures and cannot use chips for military purposes. But how are you gonna know? Politico reported that President Donald Trump said the US would take 25% of the revenue from H200 sales to China, while Barron cited reports of potential Chinese orders worth about $30 billion and reported Nvidia shares fell 3.4% to $174. This licensing means supply and delivery timelines depend on political decisions as much as customer demand. Overall, AI adoption is speeding up, but regulation and licensing are becoming the main constraints globally. And more on these stories as they develop. Thanks for checking in on the AI news. I'll see you on the next one. Like and subscribe. And